I don't know if you can see my sweatshirt right here, but it says, it's okay to relax. And I genuinely think a lot of us could really benefit from hearing that. Not only from hearing it, but from actually implementing it into our lives. Because when we hear it's okay to relax or everything's alright, we go, oh my God, no, there's this and the work and the bills and my relationship and all the politics and the state of the world and all this stuff and all my pain and trauma, all of it. There's so much going on that we don't realize that there still is a space within us that is able to just be. There is the ability to relax. It is okay to relax. And another way you could frame it is, what if you just let it be good? What if you just let things be alright? You want to know what it is? A lot of us are addicted to the drama of life. To the drama of our life, to the drama of our friends, or our work, or the country, or the world, or whatever it is. We're addicted to conflict. And the reason we're addicted to conflict is because there's this sort of pseudo high that's born out of feeling like you're solving something. But you want to know what this does? What this results in is just a burnt out nervous system that isn't even capable of experiencing just simple joy, simple just relaxation of sitting out on the porch, sipping coffee, or out on a walk with a friend or alone. The ability to just relax. I've heard it said before that what we do is we effectively cover our own eyes and then weep that it's dark. We're not allowing things to be okay. Because on a subconscious level, we don't want things to be okay. Because then we won't feel like we're serving any sort of higher purpose. We won't feel like we're problem solving, which is it can be a very, it's a rush. When you're solving problems and you get that aha moment and you solve the situation at hand, it can feel like you've made some sort of progress. Now, that's true, but where it becomes retroactive is when you begin programming problems into your life solely to solve them, so that you can keep getting the feeling of progress, even though every time you make the progress, you yourself literally place another block right in front of you to overcome. Now, part of this, I think, inevitably ties into not only being oriented towards problem solving, but also oriented towards goal striving. If you don't have a goal, or a direction, or a vision, or a plan, you can often feel like you're just kind of floating in outer space, like you're not going anywhere. This is a lot of what results in feeling like life is meaningless, feeling like there's no point. The reason there's no point to life is because you don't have a point to your life. You haven't put or wired in a point or a meaning to your life. You're not speaking for the objectivity of reality. You're speaking for the subjectivity of your individual life. What you're saying is, my life is meaningless. So, that's why we tend to set goals and have dreams and aspirations and visions, because we want to become something. We want to go somewhere. We want to accomplish something with ourselves, because we see what's possible. We see what's capable in the world. And so we want to set something out for ourselves to go after. That's a natural, ingrained sort of trait of us as humans. And same with problem solving. Our mind is like naturally wired to seek the path of least resistance and to find to tie off all the untied ends and to figure it all out and to clear it all out and to think it over enough so that we can finally understand it. But see, if we don't have a meaning, if we don't have somewhere we're going, if we don't have a vision, and also if we aren't able to just be content within our own skin, if we're not working on ourselves, in other words, we will literally start to resort to seeking out and creating, manufacturing suffering so that we can go through the process of healing it. You ever heard, like, in the self-help community, it's always, we're healing, I'm overcoming my trauma, I'm healing. You want to know something? I think, and I'm relatively guilty of this myself, I feel like we get caught in a loop of constantly healing and never really congratulating ourselves or celebrating the small wins. And I call it small wins, but it's really huge wins. We get stuck in this loop of, I need to heal, I need to work on myself, I need to fix myself. How do I get rid of this problem? How do I fix this? I'm broken. The more you say you need to heal, the more you're implying that you're broken. Now, what this ties into in the context of the self-help community is, as I was saying, feeling like you have some sort of purpose you're going towards. I'm healing, I'm working on myself. But what if you're good? What if it's okay to relax? We get this terrible panic of, but if I relax, who's gonna keep working on myself? I'm gonna slip back into my old ways. I feel like you're more inclined to slip back into old ways the harder you try to fix yourself. I feel like when you relax, not only do the problems naturally sort of work themselves out and iron themselves out, but you naturally gravitate towards a higher, more serene vibration. And this whole, it's not only in the self-help community, it's kind of it bleeds all throughout society of people wanting conflict so that they can go through the process of resolving it. This is the sentiment behind trauma bonding in romantic relationships, or even like not only romantic but like friendships and family as well, of you create tension and you create trauma so that you and them can work it out together. And then, as you all know, there's a natural alleviation and liberation of energy when you work something out. But see, it's a dirty high, it's a fake high, when you created the problem so that you could work it out to get that rush. And the reason it's called trauma bonding is because you're bonding through the roller coaster of conflict and resolution and conflict and resolution. And you feel closer. You feel like you're really making ground. But all you're doing is going up and then down, and then up and then down. Normally, what life looks like when you're not addicted to conflict, and I say normally, I don't want to make it seem like you're abnormal. It's honestly, in a way, not normal. I'll take that back. What it could look like if you were to allow yourself to relax a little bit and to let things be good when they're good, rather than it going up, down, up, down, up, down, it goes up, down a little bit, up, down a little bit, up, down a little bit. That is the natural trend of healing. The up, down, up, down, up, down spikes are deliberate psychological implantations of conflict, where if it's good, you choose to see it in a bad way so that you can get through the negative. And you want to know where a lot of it comes from too? Is boredom. We don't have anything better to do than to, for lack of a better word, bitch and moan. We don't have anything better to do than to complain. There's somebody in my life who, for my whole life, has complained about money and the bills and the way of society and the job and all this stuff. Guess what? He's about to have a lot of money. More money than he even knows what to do with. And me and my brother were talking about it, and we realized, oh my God, when he has all this money, he's not gonna be able to use the excuse of his suffering that he's used for so long. Is he gonna be magically a beautiful, perfect, serene person once he gets the money? Probably not. He was even telling me that he's afraid to have all this financial wealth all of a sudden. And he's not spiritually inclined. He's not in the self-help community. God, no, he's not a part of that. And working on yourself and all this stuff. So he wasn't even aware of it, but what I was aware of was that the reason he's scared is because it's not congruent with his identity. He's so used to complaining. He's so used to suffering. He's so used to not being free that the idea and the prospect of being free is terrifying to him. Think about that. Really think about that. This is what we do with our jobs. We hate our job, and then we get another job offer and we're like, no, I'm good. I would rather continue hating my job because it's familiar and therefore I'm deriving a sense of safety out of it than to take a leap of faith in a new job and really switch up my life. Or a toxic partner. What, like everybody on the outside says to the person that's with the toxic partner, leave. Why are you still with them? And they go, yeah, you're right. And then they're like, oh, I just can't leave them. Or they leave for a second and then they gravitate. They get magnetized right back together. It's because you're addicted. Your nervous system is addicted to the drama. It's addicted to the drama. And then, if you take that person that's addicted to drama and conflict and put them in the context of a relationship that's healthy and serene, which, might I add, is not characterized by spiking emotions and a roller coaster of conflict and resolution, but is rather pretty just chill. It's like just smooth sailing for the most part. Right? I mean, thinking of the sailing analogy, what the person addicted to conflict is used to is wild, raging seas. Having to work to keep the sails up and keep the boat afloat and it's rocking and keeping it together. And then, when things are healthy, when things are serene, when things are fine, it's smooth sailing. It's clear water. And we get really stir crazy because our nervous system is so accustomed to, oh, what am I going to do now? I don't have anything to do. My purpose for years has been to fight. So now that we're chilling, it's boring. Or we think something's wrong. That's another good one. I've literally seen this meme before that's like, when things have been good for three or more days, and it shows this person and they're like, suspicious. Because God forbid things are good for more than 3 days. Because we're so used to the conflict. And see, that right there, when things are good, and you start getting suspicious, that is the signal that you're addicted to conflict. You can't let it be good. Not only is it okay to relax, but also, it's okay to just let it be good. It sounds elementary and simple to say these things, but I need to hear it too. And I think a lot of you are probably benefiting from hearing the same thing, that it's okay for it to be good. And it's okay to relax. You don't need to fight. You don't have to search for the problem. Imagine that. Imagine being so accustomed to conflict and drama that when things are good, you start getting suspicious. You start thinking, where's the bad? This isn't familiar. I'm used to things being horrible. Why is it fine? And you start getting weird and you see what I'm saying? That's showing you that you're addicted to the cycle of tension and drama and conflict and pain. You ever see somebody that just like, it's like they're a full-time complainer? Like they're always complaining about something. You want to know something? They're addicted to it. They like it. They like the suffering. They're essentially in a prison cell. And when you come along and you're not somebody who's addicted to suffering and pain, and you're a very light, joyous, healthy, holistic individual, what you essentially do is you come over, you unlock the prison cell, and you open the door, and you say, you want to come out and hang out? And they're like, no. I like my prison cell of agony and complaining and nihilism and cynicism and negativity and darkness and judgment. They don't want to be out of it. And if they did, they'd get out of it. A lot of us don't want to be free from our pain. Because the idea of not, like the pain itself is our legacy. This is going to be a really touchy thing that I'm about to share, but people who had traumatizing childhoods that are still milking it 40, 50, 60 years later, when it doesn't have to be that way. You can be free from the past. Now, this is why I said it was going to be touchy, because it's true that trauma follows us. But I think also it's worth recognizing that a lot of us build a legacy off of the foundation of our trauma. So therefore, if we were to let go of the trauma, it's like pulling the legs out from under the table. So we aren't willing to do that. So therefore, we by virtue of the way we've built our lives, we aren't allowed to let go of the past. Because it's the very defining characteristic of who we are today. You see what I'm saying? So we set ourselves up for failure by becoming married to our pain and to our suffering. We make ourselves incapable of letting go of the past and the trauma and the pain, because it's what defines us. And even if we were to let go of it, we would our nervous system is so used to pain and worry or depression or anger that when there's an absence of stimuli to trigger those feelings, we are literally at a loss. We're at a dead end. We don't know what to do. So what we do is we go back. We relapse back to who we used to be, because even though it's horrible, we got cozy in our little nest of shit. See what I'm saying? There's somebody I knew a couple years ago that they were in a toxic relationship, and one night this girl I knew and her partner, they were a toxic duo together. I'll be completely honest. They were both toxic as all can be. They broke up, and I do the air quotes because God knows they're going to get right back together, probably tomorrow or whatever. But they broke up, and this girl told me that once they broke up, she was just aimlessly driving around in her car. And she said she was horrified because she didn't know what to do with herself. She had no direction. She didn't know where to go. She doesn't have her own hobbies. She doesn't have her own personality. She doesn't know what the hell to do, because she exists relative or in relation to her toxic counterpart. So without him, she was just a floundering fish out in open water with nothing to do, no direction, no compass. And she said it was horrifying. That horror, that directional navigation, that disorientation of the psychological disorientation that we feel when we let go of all the negativity that we've been so addicted to, is exactly what brings us back to it. It's the same thing with, like, when you stop smoking weed, or you stop nicotine, smoking cigarettes, or drinking alcohol, or whatever it is. The withdrawal is your body literally craving what it knows isn't good for it. And then we cave. We go, I can't go without it, man. I'd rather just be an addict and feel good than give my body and my mind what it needs, but feel like crap for a period of time. The path of least resistance is to default back to who we used to be. So the idea that I'm sharing here is, it's worth asking yourself, are you addicted to the pain and the conflict and the drama? And have you considered that it's okay to relax? And what if it's all good? What if all the problems and the drama, not all of them, but what if a majority of the problems and the drama and the conflict in your life doesn't need to be there, but is only there because you're superimposing it into your life to derive from it a sort of high from being able to solve it? What if that tension and that drama and that pain doesn't need to be there? It's dysfunctional. It's not serving a function. Because that's the thing too, is our genuine drama and conflict is functional because it heals us. It's like forging by fire. It's functional because it serves a purpose. It's supposed to be there. Like when you have a breakup, or when somebody dies, the grief, that's not a problem. It's debilitating and horrible, but it's not a problem because it's functional. It's there to allow you to unravel your attachment to that being so that you can sort of come into a new iteration of who you are, into being somebody who's able to be without them. The grief is functional in that sense. Or even depression, if you will. Being depressed for a period of time. Our negativity is often telling us something. That's another thing. But we get addicted to the game of solving the problems. So much so that we don't want the problems to be gone. So it's worth asking yourself, how much of your pain is functional? And how much are you seeking it out to just give your nervous system something to do? And what if it's okay to relax? Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, as I always say, right now I'm offering completely free discovery calls where if you watch this video and you have something going on and you feel like talking with me personally could benefit you in some kind of way, you can go into the pinned comment below where it says book a free call with me. You can choose a date that you would like, and we'll meet up, we'll talk, we'll get to know each other, we'll talk about what you have going on, and we'll see if it would be in our best interest to work together in the future. So if that calls to you, don't hesitate, it's completely free, and I would be honored to see you there. So with that said, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.